Soju Bomb. Soju Bomb. Oh. Soju Bomb.
Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another
Soju Bomb.
Soju Bomb.
Why'd you say it twice like a robot?
Soju Bomb.
I love Soju Bomb. Exterminate Soju Bomb.
Yes, we are here on Soju Bomb, where we talk about Korean culture, more specifically Korean media, and we're here to talk about yet another Korean film. This time, the 2006 Korean monster movie. I guess that's the way to put it. The Host, which is a horrible name.
I thought the Korean name is the way they translated it.
The Korean name is Gwimber, which literally means monster.
Well, honestly, they call it the creature a host. It's a new kind of
Virus.
But the virus is only it was important to the movie, but literally one person had the virus.
Yeah.
One person had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of dumb. Let's put it out there.
it tastes better with Coke.
Tastes better with Coke?
I think so.
All right.
This is my personal preference.
You can be wrong. That's fine.
What? What?
What?
Where do you get off?
What? Whipped cream.
Where do you get off?
Kuhip.
Wheat thins.
There you go.
Anyways, 'cause you know that's
So this movie starts out innocently enough with two doctors who are pouring formaldehyde that is expired, I guess. They say, look at it, it's covered in dust. Let's dump it into the ocean. Let's blow up the ocean.
you can definitely tell this is no longer good. It's covered in dust. Well, actually, I bought it yesterday. We were just doing some work in here. It's covered in dust. It's bad. Throw it out.
But anyway, so they dump it out, and it ends up mutating something inside the Han River into becoming the titular monster.
Now it takes years. Like it shows, a couple years later, there's some fishermen who catch something, and they go, "Oh my gosh, freaking out!" Like, look, did you see how many tails are on that thing? What the heck was that? And it swims away.
Yeah.
A few years later, again, some mysterious sighting, some weird thing in the water. A few years later, we were now at that time, present day.
Yes, 2006. And we see the main character, a very ajushi-looking Song Gang-ho, and he's tending to a little snack stand that's there on the Han River.
Tending, yes. He's tending it.
Tending it. He's asleep.
On top of the change.
And when he finally does get customers, he ends up stealing from them and eating their food. He's a bum, is what we're saying.
Pretty much, yeah. So much so that he couldn't go to his daughter's bring your parents to work day. Bring your parents to school day. So instead, she brought her uncle, and he showed up drunk.
Well, we like to affectionately call him the Drunkle. But so you got a great cast of characters here. You have the grandpa, the only person who's actually got his life together. You have the eldest son, who's Song Gang-ho, who has a daughter. No mention of the mother.
They mention her. They just say that she ran off, like a little bit after she was born.
I guess because Song Gang-ho was kind of a bum. Then we have the daughter, who is not Song Gang-ho's daughter, but the main character's sister,
Yeah.
who is an Olympic archer.
So
But-
she's got her life together really well.
Sorta. She's kind of messed up though. She takes too long to shoot, and it's actually costing her a gold medal. She takes on the bronze though.
Yeah, and that's horrible. Your life sucks. You couldn't get the gold. Wow.
Yeah, but that becomes her
Wow.
running theme is that she can't pull the trigger on things. She can't send the arrow. She can't let go. And it ends up almost cost her life. Remember, later in the movie.
99 problems. Why not 100? Really? You're gonna be that guy?
No, that's her character arc.
I know, but to say she doesn't have her life together because she got bronze instead of gold.
No. That's not what she has.
She's a hurdle to get past. She always waits too long to let go of the arrow.
But if she did have her life together, she would have gotten the gold. That's what I'm saying.
what the?
Yeah, because if she could pull the trigger, she could have let the arrow
How's
go.
it to do their life together? What? Bullcrap.
No, because she can't
No,
let go.
okay, I don't care. We're getting off topic here. I'm winning this one.
No. No.
Her life isn't together.
Her life isn't together. She's a wreck.
She's a wreck because she okay. later she's a wreck, but no, she's not a wreck. She got the freaking bronze medal in the Olympics. Besides that one chick who went, and had the internet thing all about her, but she got silver. Everyone's happy to bronze medal. Everyone's happy to medal. Don't tell me.
Because she was upset when she got back. She knew she messed up and was like, because don't you remember the reaction of everybody? Everyone's disappointed.
Yeah. Time. It's one thing. It's one thing.
In real life, but this is a movie. In real life, if you got a bronze,
no.
You got your life
if you
together.
knew you could have gotten gold, but you messed up and dropped it down to bronze, yes, you can be disappointed.
That's what she was.
Yeah, that doesn't mean her life isn't together. She got freaking bronze in the Olympics.
But no, she gets back home and she's a wreck.
Yeah, you know what happened when she gets back home? We'll get there. Ready? We'll continue this.
She was a wreck when she was there.
Bullcrap. Let me finish.
She was a wreck when she was there.
Let me finish. So, the father, the main character, he has to go deliver...
I have to think it's just going to be us talking about that.
Shut up. Okay, he takes the thing, right? He's delivering the food. And he steals one of the legs off of the, squid?
Yeah, squid, yeah. So they have 10 legs.
They had 10 legs. Everyone knows this. They're really particular about that here in Korea. Yes. So they find out he stole one because they literally counted. So he had to go give him the free stuff. So we went over there. He offered it, but they weren't too curious about it, considering they were really upset earlier. Now they don't care. They're looking at something. So now he's curious. So he goes over and looks at it too. And everyone starts to form, and there's something hanging underneath the bridge. It's this big green fish thing, and it drops into the water. People know what's going on. Come a little bit closer. That character throws a can of beer into the water and grabs it with like its tail tentacle thing. And people are amazed by it. They start throwing crap at it and throwing things in the water. Yeah, it's real smart. And it disappears. They're like, oh, it's gone. And jumps right out of the water and just starts going crazy.
Eating people. And then comes the heroic American soldier. All-American hero.
America! Yeah! Cheeseburgers!
Saves a bunch of people, but he ends up getting bit by the monster.
Yes, end up losing his arm. Which then, because he got bit by the monster, he ended up getting the virus that we talked about. He's the one person who got it.
Okay, so, but in the kerfuffle, a lot of people died, but one person disappeared rather than died. That was So Gung-ho's daughter.
Yes. What happens, you see, is she's still watching the Olympics, seeing her aunt get the bronze because she waited too long with her grandfather. He's out there running around trying to get away from this thing. Sees that Donald is actually, the American, is literally helping people. He went back. He could have gotten away, but he went back to save a bunch of people.
And he was hanging out with what we can presume is either his girlfriend or his wife. He's a Korean, so mad props to all my American bros with Korean girls.
Word. Anyways. Word. So he decides, you know what, I should help too. So he runs back and the monster chases down a fatty and starts eating the kid. And Donald ends up throwing something at it and gets attention and ends up jumping and pushing him down and is over top of him. And then the main character ends up picking up like a sign that's on like a cement block and smashing the thing's tail in, which made blood spit up into his face. Which actually ended up saving Donald for a little bit longer because he ends up dying of the infection. Rest in peace, Donald. In the arms of an angel I will fly. Anyways. So, yeah.
So we need to add Donald to our t-shirt?
We're adding Donald to our t-shirt. Come on, he's American. Hey. Anyways, and the thing chasing after him, he's able to get away, and his daughter walks out, turns, and sees just mad rush of people running by her. And so the father grabs her real quick and says, just run as fast as you can. So they're running, he has his hand on it, and they trip and fall. He reaches back and grabs a little kid's hand. I called this a mile away because all you see is the hand. Running, and he looks back, and you get this completely different girl look at him weird. And then the actual father comes and grabs and kind of looks at the guy. And he realized, well, that's not my daughter, no, it isn't. And as he turns around, he sees the monster run by and pick up his daughter with its tail. And run to the water and jump in.
Yep. In fact, that's the cover of the DVD is her being snatched by that tail. So, this is where our movie begins proper.
And this is when the Archer, the sister, comes back and why she's so disappointed, why she's so upset, and why she's in tears because she thinks her niece just died. James for the win!
No, because she was already upset there on the TV before that happened. She was upset in the newspaper photo before any of this went down.
Yes, she was upset because everyone expected her to get gold, and she could have gotten gold. But it doesn't mean her life wasn't together, is my point.
No,
because she fell apart was because her niece was captured. Remember, she has a bronze medal and she puts it.
Yeah, but that was no,
like, I
because
don't want this
she
here.
messed up before she found out about her niece. Long before she found out about the
Exactly.
niece.
She was disappointed because she didn't get the gold, but she knew she could have gotten it. But that doesn't mean her life wasn't together.
Those of you who have seen the movie, please comment below if you think James is correct, if she had her life completely together and it was a one-time mistake, or if because she didn't have her life together, she continuously had a problem with not being able to finish
has
things.
nothing to do with her life not being together. If her life no, time out. If her life wasn't together, she would not have made it to the point where she could be in the Olympics, all right? She would have given up a long time ago because she could not do the archery thing and they would never accepted her. She'd never been in the Olympics. She never medaled.
Nah, because
her life is together. She has one mistake that she constantly makes.
But one mistake she constantly makes, that means she's got something wrong with her. She's not together.
That means her life isn't together.
Yes.
Okay, times.
Okay.
Our parents, all right, have got the. Okay, look, they raised the 7 of us, all right, like bosses. I would say their life is rather together. Doesn't mean they don't have mistakes. Doesn't mean they don't have constantly have bumps in the road.
But are they making the same mistake over and over? If dad had a problem with alcohol, if mom had a problem with over chocolate indulgence, that would
She does. And she continues to have it. James for the win! In your
Mom,
face.
you need to get your life together so I can be right. All right, so carry on. This is where the movie proper begins. This is where you get to see the aunt, the uncle, the father, and the grandfather all together.
The memorial, of course, drunk, but that's he's the Drunkle.
Yes,
that's what we know him as.
Well, they end up getting taken by a group of scientists because they're worried about the biological outbreak.
Because of the fact that Donald ended up showing it, and the main character pointed out that, hey, some of the blood got in my face.
Yep.
And so they're freaking out, and they call them the infected family, I believe is how they referred to them through the movie.
Well, they're in the hospital, but they end up getting a phone call.
Yes, they do.
They get a phone call from the missing girl.
Yes, they do.
Of course, because her dad was super cheap and got her a crappy cell phone, there's no reception.
But he has this ramen bowl that he has full of
Change.
He's trying to save up to buy her a better phone.
But they have to use that to buy themselves a bribe. Which, speaking of which, that's how they get out of the quarantine. Is they end up getting a group of folks who James would later recognize as the mentally challenged guy
kid from
Memories of Murder.
Memories of Murder.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But this group, they pay off to get him out. They get a van, they get some weapons, and they go and try to track this thing down. They find it. Things don't turn too great for them, do they?
Nope. It took them a while. Eventually, they get a. Oh wait, that's later. Never mind. Different thought. Sorry. Anyways, they've been going through sewers. They eventually track it down. Obviously, they're shooting it. They're wounding it, but they're not doing enough damage really. And they chase it to the water. They're still attacking it. They're running out of ammunition. The father looks at the main character and asks how many bullets you got left. He's 1. He's like, that's enough. He takes his gun, sends him resting.
It's the grandfather to the father.
Yeah. So he sends him resting him away, and he ends up going face to face with the creature as it's charging him, and he pulls the trigger. Nothing happens.
Because son can't count.
He miscounted. And the monster picks him up by the tail, uses his tail to pick him up. He's the grandfather, obviously doesn't have a tail. And slams him straight into the ground, killing him instantly.
Yeah.
So he dead.
So we're already down one family member.
And
or
the
two
monster,
if you can count the daughter.
yeah, the fish creature thing, whatever the heck you want to call it, swims off. And
At this point, our group ends up having to split up.
yeah, the daughter and the Drunkle get away, but they split up in the sewer.
The Drunkle and the aunt.
Yeah, the Drunkle man. And the son the main character runs back. He's known as Patient Yellow, I believe is what they call him.
Yeah.
And he runs back for his dad and ends up getting caught. Excuse me. So, yeah, that sucks. Meanwhile, a little side note here. When he was asleep running the stand, a kid comes up and starts grabbing a few things, and the older brother shows up, slaps his hand, brings him back, and they leave. Like, oh, okay, so the older brother's making sure the little kid didn't steal. It's good. Well, they show back up, and they do steal. But they only take what they need.
Or what they claim to need. Because they filled up that backpack pretty full.
They totally did. There was money laying around, and the older brother refused to let his younger brother take the money. They only filled up with snacks. And the monster they run into the monster. And it seems it takes a while to obviously digest some of the people it eats. So it ends up spitting some of the bodies back into like this little hole in the sewer that it's staying at, which is why the daughter's still alive. Well, it spits out the two boys. The one is dead. The older brother, spoiler, very sad. But the younger brother is actually still alive. So the daughter is taking care of him while they're in the sewer. They're the only two that are alive. Everyone else is actually just laying there dead. Yeah. So it probably stinks so bad because it's sewer plus corpses. And yeah, so they're trying to get out. They're kind of doing different things. It keeps spitting different people down there, and so they're able to get different things together so they can try to climb out. And pray for working yourself on, but unfortunately they do not get one. But back to the rest of the family while they're sitting in there rotting.
And this has already gone on like pretty far, but anyway, keep going.
Yeah, of course, because you won't admit that I was right.
Okay.
Anyways.
Comment.
So, the Drunkle calls in a favor and to track the phone because they kept trying to tell people, no, they believe that they're crazy, that the daughter, they saw herself. They saw her get eaten. She's dead. They think they're crazy. But he's like, you don't understand. She called us. But no one will believe him. So they're tracking the phone. And it finds out that the friend that's helping him do this actually called the cops on him. He's a room full of cops waiting to pounce because he wants the reward. Before they pounce, they want to find out where the sister is as well. The aunt, if you will. And so they're asking him, and he honestly doesn't know because they did split up in the sewer. And so he actually, this was unattended, of course, but he actually is able to pinpoint where it was at. Now he knows exactly where his niece is. And when he finds out, he's all excited. He's going to tell his friend, and he looks up and he realizes, oh, it's a room full of cops now. Yep. He's able to escape them, but he ends up jumping off like a bridge and kind of messing up his leg and passing out underneath that bridge. Didn't get caught. Yay for him. The aunt, right before he passed out, was able to send, the Drunkle was able to send her a message telling him, hey, this is where she's at. So she goes into that sewer, runs into the creature, and waits too long to pull the trigger, and gets smacked and falls into a little crevice thing. And you're like, okay, did she die? Is she alive?
Yeah, you don't know yet.
You don't know yet.
So at this point, the brother looks like he's the Drunkle looks like he's taken out. The aunt looks like she's taken out, and we know the dad, the main character, he's been captured.
Yeah.
So it looks like things are looking pretty bleak for the little girl, but she ends up getting a friend.
That little boy, as we discussed.
Yeah. They're kind of bonding a bit.
Yes, they are. You kind of have to. They almost get eaten because the creature discovers them. They kind of crawl deeper in and kind of hide there for a little bit.
That's actually a pretty tense scene where she runs up the back and it looks like she's grabbed on. She's just kind of hanging there. And the monsters grab hold of her.
Yeah. Well, they're looking for the virus because it finds out that Donald don't have it anywhere on him. It just infected him somehow. He got infected by something, and so they believe that it's in, Agent Yellow, as they call him, which I feel is very racist. And so when they're drawing his blood, he snapped. He's had it. So he ends up grabbing the needle and threatening to infect everyone there as they did what he asked. And so he was able to sneak out and actually get into an ambulance and take off. So everyone's, on his tail. Everyone's trying to track him down, but he's determined to, get his daughter back. Yep. The Drunkle wakes up. Hobo found him and took care of him. And together, the Hobo and the Drunkle head off to the other side of town, really, to get to the part of the sewer. When the father gets there, he also got the information that he also got the information he needed to know where she's at. And he's climbing down the rope that the little girl had made. The last scene you see with the little girl and the little boy is they're running and the monster's chasing after them. They're trying to jump into the little hole they've been hiding in, and it goes like this and it clips off, so you don't know what's going on. Did she make it or not? He's climbing down, and he realizes that one of the tied up.
Yeah, what was a piece of clothes? She tied a bunch of clothes together
with
make
that beating stick that cops have.
Baton.
Thank you, baton.
But and
very lame.
One of the pieces of clothing has her name tape on it because she was wearing her school uniform at the time.
Yes. And so he sees that and he thinks, he's thinking the worst. He thinks, it's too late, she's dead. And he looks up and the monster's crawling over the crevice. Yes. And he sees a hand hanging out of its mouth. He freaks. He chases after the monster. The aunt is now awake. Yeah, she's alive. She sees the monster run by. She gets out ready to shoot it. And then the father obviously yells at her and they meet up. And they're like, oh, crap, she's in there? You gotta be kidding. So he's telling her not to shoot because he was afraid if it shot it, it might hurt his daughter, which is in the mouth. So they're chasing after the thing. there's this big riot going on to free the affected family, or the Agent Yellow, is they call him.
Well, yeah, and to start the protest, and to protest the release of the biological agent to fight.
Yeah, to fight this creature. Yeah. And so there's a big protest going on, and so the creature shows up, and that little protest kind of scatters rather quickly. And they do release the agent, which affects the creature, but doesn't quite kill it.
Not quite.
Not quite. They did notice that during the epic fight scene, if you will, that because of the biological agent, ended up spitting out 2 kids. Ended up eating both of them, and they were clenched together. Yeah. Obviously, it was had it in its mouth, hadn't digested or anything yet, and spit them both out. The family realizes that she's dead. They don't know what to do. They're just tears. Because they're obviously saying, if we tried harder, if we'd figured this out sooner, could have happened. And they drag, obviously, her off a little bit, and they're crying, and then they just snap, okay, screw it, we're killing this thing. Well, obviously, he doesn't like fire, because Drunkle had made several bottles of, the alcohol, piece of paper, light it, toss it. Does not like that at all. Well, the creature gets to a corner where the hobo comes to the rescue and dumps an entire can of gasoline on top of it. And so this is it. He got his last bottle. He's ready to chuck it at the creature to finish it off. And the Drunkle, with his drunkiness, goes like this and lets go of the bottle.
Drops it.
And drops it. He just stares at it like, you gotta be kidding me. And dun-dun, here comes the ant. With her one arrow, stabs a piece of the flaming, yeah, whatever it was that was there. Puts an arrow and gets her life together at that second and fires the arrow, boom, hits the thing in the face.
Unscrews herself up and shoots it right in the eye.
Right in the eye. So it's on fire. It's trying to get away. It's trying to get back to the water. It knows, hey, I can get in the water and we could stop. And the father's there with a rather sharp stick. And just jams it right into its face. And it's pushed back. Almost goes into the water too, but he is able to stop it, and the creature dies.
Yes, but unfortunately, along with the creature, like we said, the daughter died. But there was one survivor from that kerfuffle.
He walks over and looks down at the little boy, who he thinks is dead. Start talking to him because he's pretty much losing it, saying, "How'd you know my daughter? What was happening? What happened? What happened?" And the little kid starts coughing. The little boy, the homeless coughing. The little homeless boy who lost his brother, who was his only caretaker, didn't really have a home, lost the friend that he made who ended up saving his life down in the sewers, then was adopted by the father. And that's kind of how the movie ends, is with them eating together.
He's got his hair looking nice, and he looks far more professional, more together.
Not the kid, the actual.
Yeah, we had that. So that's how the movie ends. Not exactly a happy ending, but I'm sure you've realized now that there is no happy endings in Korean films.
So much for my happy ending.
Exactly. So, A, did you like the movie?
Yes, I did.
B, would you recommend it?
Most certainly.
And C, to whom?
Anyone who agreed with me in our argument.
And everyone else who agreed with me can watch a far better movie. No, I was kidding.
Everyone who agreed with you is obviously no one. I was going to insult them, but really there's no one to insult because no one's going to agree with you.
Everyone who's seen this movie, please comment below. And who's ever the loser, we'll have to make a special video of them, like, I don't know, eating something.
Anyways.
But because you can't literally eat crow. But anyways.
You can go outside, you find a freaking crow, won't shut up and shoot it, and you eat it.
In Korea?
Hey, you know what?
Do they have crows in Korea?
Why are you asking them? You live here.
I know they have magpies in Korea. There's a lot of magpies in Korea. A lot of doves in Korea.
I don't know what that means. All right.
Because
all I'm trying to say here. All right.
Okay, enough of this. That was over. The comments will decide it. The comments will.
Fine. I'm going to end it with this little argument from
No, because then I'll have to have an argument, and we're going to make this drag out too long.
Okay.
So just the comments will decide.
Just make sure you look back at my previous comments.
Well, everyone who's seen the movie will know what's going on.
Everyone who's seen the movie will know I'm right. So yeah.
I haven't seen the movie though. I'm right. All right. Talk to you guys later. We'll have another one here up in a bit, but it's going to be a week later. That's why we're wearing the same clothes. So don't get confused. Talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye.
How do you know I just have like 3 of these shirts?